Dear participants, greetings. As a panel speaker on the issue of the effect of COVID on trade, I will be covering on two issues, the national trade and international trade. So we can see that the trade cycle of India as well as world is disrupted, and we can see the impact of COVID-19 on many areas, and one by one I will be discussing those areas and what measures are to be taken in those areas are to be done. Like if you see, before COVID-19, already there was a slow and distress in the world order, and only two economies, India and China, were having GDP around 6, and all other economies were having GDP around 1. And in COVID, if you see, the general assessment of rating agencies like Moody and other agencies are that India is going to lose on a great scale in its GDP, but China will retain 5 around or 5% around. The European countries and American or Latin American countries and America, including America, will get a severe hit and its GDP will decrease around. It may go even minus. So the sectors in India which are severely hit in demand side and in supply side, we will see one by one. In demand side, there are three sectors which are severely hit. The first sector is the hospitality, the hotel, the restaurant, the eateries, the business of hospitality will be severely hit because as WTO has very recently and WHO has very recently said that COVID-19 is going to stay with us for at least 1 year till we make a vaccine of this. So the sector of hospitality is severely hit. The second sector which is severely hit is tourism. Many of the Indian states are reliant upon the tourism, and tourism is going to get a serious hit post COVID-19. Aviation is the next sector, demand of which will receive a serious impact because being highly contagious, there will be huge restrictions on traveling, indoor or outdoor. Therefore, the travel bookings will get a major hit in those lines. In supply side, if you see, the COVID-19 will hit sectors like automobiles, pharmaceuticals, electronics, and chemicals because there will be high rise of demand in these sectors. Mobility, electronic communication, medical supplies and medical treatment, chemical supplies and chemical treatment, equipments like PPE, masks, sanitizer, cleaning agents will be demand in more like never before. And the supply chain will be disrupted because most of the ingredients to these sectors are coming from China only. And to maintain the supply chain in this broken time will be very difficult for the world order. Therefore, the supply side of these sectors will be severely hit. Then, one major area which will be very much hit by the COVID-19 is export and import business. As we know that export and import is responsible for maintenance of foreign exchange ratio and is also responsible for maintenance of the rupee convertibility against the dollar. That's why the export and import balance, which is known as payment of balance, will again get a severe hit in the domestic market. So China again is a great exporting partner of India, and India exports 36% of diamond to China only and 34% of petrochemicals to China only. But because our supply is broken, hence Indian export business will get a severe hit during COVID-19 and post COVID-19. As I told you, aviation and tourism has received the major setback, and in aviation sector we are expecting a 30% drop post COVID-19. Then the capital market and financial market is again receiving a severe hit. We have witnessed rallies in capital market. There has been the highest buying and selling in the capital market, and we are witnessing drop of Sensex and NSE, Nifty like never before. And that is sending a message to investors because they are basically not happy in their investment because that is dwindling like anything. The next sector which is receiving a hit is e-commerce sector. E-commerce sector can work great in this time, but e-commerce sector greatly depends upon the shipper or shipment, and government has imposed huge restrictions on the category of non-essentials to be sold, transacted through e-commerce business. The e-tailers or e-commerce businessmen are trying very hard to negotiate with the government to bring more and more things under the head of essentials, like they are negotiating for electronic items, mobile phones, computers, and computer peripherals to be put in essential items. And the process is under negotiation with the government right now. Hence, it has to be chalked out by the government whether these items should be classified as essentials. But I see as a great opportunity for the e-tailers and e-business platform, and that's why there is good news. In the time when the people are losing jobs like anything, the companies like Amazon and Flipkart will be hiring more and more people in these sectors. The next sector is oil and petroleum industries. We can see that mobility and transportation is totally stopped, and there is a huge drop. There is very less demand of fuel, and there is huge crash of the crude oil prices. It has been never such low in the past decade. So oil sector is again receiving a severe hit, and how mobility will be secured post COVID-19 is a game plan for any economy. Education sector is going to receive a setback because even post COVID-19 the students will dare to join institutions overseas market. India has been a great supplier of students to overseas market. Millions of students, Indian students, go to Australia, America, and London for study, and even in European countries. But this year, they are planned to join overseas universities will receive a severe hit, and these universities has to switch platform. Maybe they go online, and students back in India can join those courses on online platform. So education sector is again going to receive a severe hit. Real estate and construction sector will receive the major hit because the worst hit sector will be the real estate sector, because this engages the whole unorganized labor industries amongst them, and hence this sector again will receive a severe hit. Automobile sector is a sector which was already witnessing a slump sale. The car manufacturer much before COVID-19 were not receiving a good demand. The two-wheeler makers were again not very happy even pre-COVID-19 situation. But in COVID-19 situation, they are equally not very happy because the spare parts manufactured are manufactured in China only. 27% of the parts are supplied from China only, and due to supply chain disruption, the automobile sector will again get a very severe hit. Pharmaceutical sector is on supply side impact, and just before COVID-19 we saw how India just reconciled API, active pharmaceutical ingredients, deal with China, and 25% of API is imported from China. But this import will be hit in COVID-19, and Indian pharmaceutical companies are a great hope for the world order, because the second largest manufacturer of the API is India in the world, I'm telling you. And Indian pharmaceutical companies are just running on their 30 to 40% of their capacities, which is to be enlarged in days to come if they have to be on supply side. Otherwise, India again is the biggest consumer. So whatever APIs will be produced will be consumed in India only. But if they want to be on supply side, then the same has to be done by accelerating their production chain. Power sector was the sector which will be severely hit, because here the growth rate will be in minus. It will be minus 3.6%, and we have witnessed how power sector has filed many petitions in many high courts for invocation of the force majeure clause. But COVID-19 was not considered as a force majeure by the respective high courts. Hence, power sector or power companies could not invoke the force majeure clause in their agreements. Textile business is a business where we can see in India the textile yarns. When I say yarns, it includes both the synthetic yarn and the other yarns, and it is ranging from 820 million US dollars import we do from China only, and that import chain is going to be disrupted. So the supply of textile is again going to be hit. We have seen that all these sectors are receiving a severe hit due to COVID-19, and Indian government has released packages for stimulating all those sectors and boosting the morale of the Indian incorporations. Like the 1.7 lakh crore rupees were released for relief to poor package firm. Then 50,000 crore rupees were released by the RBI on the mutual fund crisis. I will be discussing the mutual fund crisis also. and 15,000 crore rupees were released for the emergency response to COVID-19 for health and other emergencies. And we are saying that DBT is taking place in that. Money is being transferred to the unorganized laborers and farmers. But these packages will not be enough to keep the incorporation going. The agriculture sector will again receive a hit because agricultural production engages the laborers and physical distancing is required in COVID-19. Hence, all these sectors will receive a severe hit. The manufacturing process will again receive a hit because it will not operate on the optimum level, and because of that, the manufacturing sector will again receive a severe hit. And post lockdown, it was proposed that manufacturers will be allowed to operate on minimum level, but if any COVID-19 patient is found in their premises, they will be charged and there will be huge sanction against them. There was a huge counter of that, hence government diluted the norms and now government will not charge those industrialists for operating, and if anybody is found to be affected by the COVID-19, they will be not charged by that. Then if you see all these sectors are demanding that there must be deferment of payment of taxes, and yesterday only the government is readying a plan how GST can be deferred, how all taxes can be deferred basically, and they are again demanding that whatever repayment or rebate and whatever reimbursement of taxes are to be done, that must be done immediately, and government is planning on those lines also. We have seen the financial sector to be hugely affected. The non-banking financial sector, our companies have been affected. We have seen Franklin Templeton has closed its 6 debt mutual funds, and for that RBI had to declare a 50,000 crore rupees package immediately, because what will happen, there will be chain reaction and all mutual fund holders will start redeeming their mutual funds, and that will create a crisis in the market. So in this pandemic, the panicking is very natural, and government is doing its all stimulating packages, but the supply chain has to be maintained. The e-commerce platform has to be utilized on optimum level with all safeguards of physical distancing, sanitation, and medical safeguards. The domestic trade can be kept alive. But this is testing time, and we have to plan for all those things, like how the farmers in mandis, with the help of electronic devices, can keep even the sectors like agriculture alive. So we can see that these sectors, though, are receiving severe challenges by COVID-19, but they have enough options at their disposals to change the way we used to trade. So trade cycle has to be maintained. What we may expect, that there will be a change the way we used to trade. At the world level, we can see that if we analyze very generally the data available on the WTO, we can come to know that most of the companies are invoking the clauses of restrictions on export. And in the national interest, they are banning the export of the goods and services, which is their USP. Because we know that the international trade is highly, I will say, interdependent and highly reciprocal due to the geographical conditions of a country. So most of the countries are imposing the restrictions, and due to WTO and WHO call, there are certain dilutions in certain sectors like medical supplies. They are planning, proposing that restrictions must be lifted by the countries which are having good, or I will say robust position in supply chain. So those countries are planning to dilute the restrictions. In this whole COVID-19 affair, the most affected countries are developing countries. And India is champion of developing countries, so obviously India has to keep an eye on that. But if we see China, 20% of the global manufacturing is done in China only. And as we know that when there is a slow or distress, then that is the best time for investment. And China is very aggressively investing in the European companies and Indian companies and the American companies, because the crisis time is the best time for investment, because you get shares at a comparatively lower prices, very lower prices. We have just seen that how the Facebook made an offer for buying 9.99% stakes in Geo, and Geo very aggressively wants to reduce its debt liability up to 28%, accepted the offer immediately. So we can see that, and we have also witnessed that People Banks of China, PBOC, just raised their shareholding in SDFC up to 1%, which sent a clear message to the government that they have to revise their investment norms. And Government of India within no time revised the investment norms and made the investment from automatic route to approval route. You might be knowing that FDI happens with two routes, automatic routes and approval routes. So they immediately switched over to approval route, which China said that this is discriminatory and this is against the WTO norms. So China is very aggressively investing in these companies, and they can do so within the WTO norms. But what the companies in their national interest has to do, they have to very closely monitor so that Chinese enterprises directly or indirectly do not have controlling shares in their companies. Otherwise, supply chain can be broken and decisions can be taken against their national interest. What we need to do in the global trade, that uninterrupted shipping has to be maintained. The shipping platforms are to be developed, green channels are to be created, and priority is to be created for medical supplies, essentials, chemicals, electronic items, because they will be more in demand post COVID-19. They have to facilitate trade, and custom clearance has to be made very easy if global trade has to continue. Cross-border transport, right of transit has to be maintained. All global trade has to go on e-platform, electronic platform, which has to be paperless. All transactions are to be made only in electronic mode and medium. And the technical assistance will be prioritized in days to come. WTO has projected that there will be a fall of world trade from 13% to 32%. So they are expecting 1/3 of fall in global trade post COVID-19. And if we had to maintain the social distancing or physical distancing and lockdown beyond a certain period of time, then this projected slump can be even more devastating. So, India has to think positively and behave very positively along with all the Indians and all the stakeholders of the trade, so that trade cycle nationally and internationally can be maintained. Thank you.